Hello, and welcome back to the world of assassination and We All Fall Down, the series where we take on all of our primary targets in accident falls or falling object kills. And today we are off to Mendoza, so we will be starting as the waiter, and the only item we'll be bringing with us on this mission will be a silenced pistol. So right from the start and off the bat, this is a relatively easy way of taking out both of your targets, but it is by far not the shortest. So we're going to make our way up to the barbecue area where the fire pit is, and in behind the small bar here we will find a corridor. And in here we will find a fellow waiter, and we're just going to grab that bottle. That will come in handy a bit later on. We're just going to render the waiter here unconscious, and this will be our base of operations. So we're just going to hide this guy just behind the cages here. There is a closet also available, but that is reserved for somebody else. So with that guy now safely tucked up out of anyone's view, all we have to do is wait by the door here. And where is our target? So there is our target with Diana. They're down in the tasting area where we started, and we need them to come into this area, and you'll see that both Tamara and Diana are flanked by bodyguards. We need to get rid of them. There are faster methods for doing this, but for today's method, all we're going to do is bump into one of the guards repeatedly. He won't react, he'll just keep trying to walk on. We're going to let everybody else get down the stairs a little bit before we pounce on the guard, render him unconscious. We're going to hide him in the closet provided. Don't forget to grab his gun. And then all we have to do basically now is rinse and repeat for the other guard. Now, instead of waiting for Diana and Tamara to go through their entire routine, luckily enough, they're down in the security office or area, and when they leave here, they're going to head back up the way they came. So we'll use that opportunity to take out the second guard instead of waiting for the entire routine to play out, which is quite lengthy and can be interrupted by the Vine tour, on which both Tamara and Diana will attend. So when they're heading back up the stairs, we just want to keep blocking the bodyguard as much as we can. Unfortunately, we slowed Tamara down a little bit as well. So we're just going to keep slowing this guy down. I think Tamara might be far enough ahead now. And we're just going to wait for Tamara to exit the building and for the doors to close. And when they do, we can then pounce on the second guard. That now will do nicely. So once we have this guard unconscious, again, we're going to grab his outfit and his gun and hide him in the closet provided. And now for the long wait, because this time round we do have to wait for Diana and Tamara to go through their entire routine and then come back through that door behind us. This can take several minutes, and eventually they will return. And what we're going to do is we're going to slow Tamara down just like we did with the guards, but not nearly as much. We don't have to worry about Diana so much. So once we can get behind Tamara, we can then render her unconscious, and we're going to drag her to the banister halfway along the stairs here, and then we're just going to quickly dump her over the edge. This is one of the few highly controllable opportunities for taking Tamara out in a accident fall. There are a couple of other ways, but there is a little bit element of randomness to it. So with Tamara dealt with, we are going to make our way through the villa basement, and up into the garden area. Now up here we will have 2 guards, as you can see. We need to wait for the patrolling guard to move away so that we can then pounce on his lonesome colleague. So once that guard gets far enough away, we can sneak up behind his colleague here. We're going to render him unconscious. We're going to grab the gun that he drops, and we're going to hide him in the bushes just off to our right here. And in here we can then take his outfit, and that will allow us much more freedom around the villa and the grounds. So once we have the outfit, we're going to return to the basement, and we're going to make our way to the back of the room using the side passage to avoid the 2 enforcers just over our right shoulder. At the back of the room we will find a safe, and if we input the code 2006 we will gain access to the classified files, and all we have to do now is take said files and present them to Mrs. Yates, and the rest will play out all on its onesies. So there is the patrolling guard who is now an enforcer. Luckily enough we have enough time to get past him, and all we've got to do now is track down Mr. and Mrs. Yates, who are currently just out at the edge of the garden here, and we are going to hand our file to Mrs. Yates.
Senora Yates, I found this. Patrolling. It's about your husband. You might want to take a look.
Thank you.
So Mrs. Yates is going to head back into the house. She's going to head for the the bedroom, and she's going to review the file. We're going to also make our way up to the bedroom briefly, and we're going to go and retrieve the sports car keys for our exit. You don't need to do this. If you want, you can run all the way back to the start of the level and the exit there, or make your way down to the boat, which is a lot more risky, or through the grapevines themselves, again slightly more risky. This is the fastest, safest exit we will have available to us. So there goes Mrs. Yates now. She's going to make her way upstairs, read the file, and make her way out onto the balcony, and she will then be shortly joined by Mr. Yates, and they will get into a discussion resulting in the unexpected and untimely death of Mr. Yates.
No!
So with our second target now doing his best pizza impression on the patio, all that's left for us to do is to make good our escape, and as mentioned, the nearest safe exit once we have the keys is the sports car exit. So there we go, one more map taken care of, and this is the final map of the All Fall Down series. Starting next week we will have something different. Stay tuned next week to find out what that is. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.